I had the opportunity to hop on a call last week with a guy that I look up to, a creator, an entrepreneur who is very, very successful, who I look at as, you know, if we're thinking about keeping up with the Joneses, he's one of those people who's kind of like the lead dog in the race that I'm chasing. Like, he's the guy I'm after, right? Or at least that's how I internalize it. He doesn't care. He doesn't think about me in that way at all. But he was a very successful person, is all to say, like, in my eyes, viewing him in his businesses and in his content that he creates, just a great thinker. And so I had this opportunity to sit down and chat with him. And after about 30 minutes, I had this revelation. And it's not really a revelation in the sense that this is like new and an insight that nobody's ever had before. In fact, I've had this insight countless times in the past. And yet, it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to forget and then just go right back down, nose to the grindstone, and get back in the race. But the truth is that more often than not, when I meet uber successful entrepreneurs, I'm left with the feeling of, holy shit, this person has no clue what he's doing. He was just too stupid to quit. And I feel this in my bones, both for myself. You know, you might look at me, depending on where you're in your journey, and you might think I have a modicum of success. Like, you might put me on that pedestal. I wouldn't, but people do, for better or for worse. And it's always an uncomfortable place for me, because while I make this content from the position of like, I'm an expert, I know what I'm doing here, listen to me. The truth is, I struggle with all sorts of imposter syndrome and all sorts of insecurity around the fact that I'm just hyper aware that my success is largely the result of luck, good timing, and just stick-to-itiveness, just staying in the game long enough to achieve success. Not necessarily born, my successes in life have not been born from any great talent or ability or any kind of superhuman effort, and I don't feel that way. And so I struggle a lot as this feeling of like an imposter. Like, I don't really know the game as well as I pretend to. Like, I know areas of it, I know levels of this entrepreneurship game, but I don't really feel like the deep domain expert when I look at other people. Like, this guy in particular was one of those people that I'd put on that pedestal for myself, is like, this is the guy who knows this game. He has this way better than I ever will. And then when I talked to him, I just realized, I was like, oh, he really doesn't know. It's not that he doesn't know it better than me. It's not that. It's just that relative to where I thought he was, he doesn't really have it all figured out. And it's just a recurring trait that success comes to those who are too stupid to quit. And I say too stupid because you have to be a little bit stupid to stick with it. Because it's not the intelligent choice a lot of times, because it can take a really long time to find success in any domain of life. And so to be able to delay the gratification and do the work necessary over a long enough period of time to ultimately arrive at that result that is not guaranteed, that's kind of stupid, when there's far easier ways to go build a business, or go make money, to just live a good life. Like, there's far simpler, straightforward paths that have a higher likelihood of, maybe not a higher likelihood of success, but at least a shortened window, a time frame upon which you would see results. And so you gotta be a little bit stupid to succeed at anything. To win the Olympics, you gotta be kind of stupid and, you know, stick with it for a really long time. And to win at business, you gotta be kind of stupid. And so I think stupidity and doggedness and tenacity, persistence, those are the traits that you really want to over-index on if you had to choose, rather than intelligence or charisma or the ability to communicate. Those are all tactical things I think that you can develop, but actually, of all these things, they're all things that you can develop. But if you had to choose one, never bet against a guy who just won't stop showing up. That's the trait you really want, because on a long enough time frame, you'll probably be successful. I just keep seeing it over and over and over again with people who have made 9 figures of wealth, if that could be a marker of success. Not saying it is the marker, just a marker. Even those guys within that domain, they don't really have it all figured out, and they might know a lot now, but certainly when they were on the journey, on the come up, they were just figuring it out as they were going. They were assembling the airplane on the way down. Like, I just see this over and over and over. So if you're feeling any kind of insecurity about where you are in your business and your journey, just recognize like nobody who has ever been where you are now felt like they had it figured out. And the people who did feel like they had it figured out, they got eaten by bears. They didn't make it to the top of the mountain. Just saying, like, I don't know too many people like that. That's the exception more than the rule. So, don't know what to take away from this, but stick with it. Stay in the game. Be too stupid to quit, and chances are very, very high, regardless of what you're trying to accomplish, you'll find success. So, hope this brings you guys a little bit of value. As always, thank you for being here. I'll catch you guys around these parts tomorrow. And until then, stay hyper-focused, my friends.